Hello everyone, welcome back. This episode, we're striking out into the world in an attempt to find some last-minute resources for the summer. We're moderately unsuccessful. I believe it's maybe like a 2-day trek. By the time we make it back, I think summer is going to be upon us. But also, right back there, I tried to shovel up a dried-out bush. If a bush ever looks kind of shriveled and more brownish than green, I recommend not shoveling it, because like you saw, all you'll get is twigs. You won't actually get the berry bush. And you can get twigs everywhere. As you can see, they're all over the place. But berries are a little more sparse. Or maybe not sparse, but they're more valuable than twigs, I'll say. So it's better to either fertilize that dried out bush and then collect it, or you want the berry bush, you don't want the twigs, and you don't want to waste a berry bush to get twigs. Is my meaning. So this is a slower episode. We're kind of just filling out the area as we go. Collecting berry bushes is always important. It's good to have a food source. And what else is there to say? Get a couple twigs, get a couple tufts of grass so that we can plant those for later. And once we have all that stuff, we'll be able to kind of expand our resource just within our own base, so we don't have to go out as often to harvest the stuff. We'll just have it, within arm's reach. Just for convenience sake, we don't have to. They'll all grow where they are, and we could just kind of go on more scavenging sessions, but I think for all of our sakes, it would be more convenient to have it within the base. So that is to say, as long as they don't all burn down in the summer heat, which is a thing that happens, and is a very real threat to us, particularly in this playthrough, because we don't have very much ice. We don't have any ice right now, and like I said, that's one of the primary purposes of this playthrough. And hey, look at that! We got a ring thing. The ring thing is another piece of the Teleportato. It is always surrounded by those nice evil flowers, which are sanity reducing. They are not fun. And having all those around in one place makes your sanity go down pretty fast if you stand there for a little while. I think in very early, kind of beta builds, I think, of the game, I played in the later phases of the kind of early access, I guess, of the game, the open beta. The ring thing used to be surrounded by normal flowers, I think, so it was actually maybe a good source of sanity restoration. But yeah, they swapped it around, and now it's surrounded by evil flowers, which makes more sense for the nature of the world, I guess. And we see another sinkhole over there. Going a little crazy. We're starting to hear things. Or I guess we've been hearing things kind of since yesterday, but I started noticing it just now, actually. Oh, I noticed it back then, but not as much. Yeah. You can see the shambling horrors just kind of doing their thing, crawling around aimlessly. And you can occasionally see this guy, I think his name's Mr. Skits. He never actually attacks you or even lets you get close to him, but he's this kind of weird, big-jawed, snake-like creature. He's not a Terrorbeak. Those are different shadow creatures, which only come when you go particularly insane. They're the more aggressive variety. Also, I take down this poor pigman's house. But yeah, shadow creatures are very interesting. I think a lot of the really in-depth lore, like the stuff kind of behind the main plot of Don't Starve, goes back to the shadow creatures and also kind of their origins. And there's some very vague hints at their origins, and like there is a area. It's very hard to reach, but when you get to it, there's some really interesting architecture there, and it hints at this ancient civilization. If you're into Lovecraft at all, it's very reminiscent of the great race of Yith and, you know, the Shoggoths and all that. And finally we went back up here. This poor guy is just running around. He doesn't have a house anymore to keep shelter in, so feel a little bad, but not too bad. We need the resources. And then in an attempt to free up an inventory space, I make a chest in advance, but we don't actually have anywhere to place the chest, and yeah. Then I try and make another one. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna make two. It's like, oh wait, you can only pre-make one at a time, so oops. So we just chopped down some more trees to keep our log count up so we can continue making fires. Luckily we have one made in advance, so that's good. We would have been able to make one regardless. And finally we catch some fireflies. This is another objective of our trip here. Fireflies are really good. You can only hunt them down during the night. It's easier during the full moon because then you don't... Oh wait, we're playing Woodie, never mind. If you're playing Woodie, don't take that tip into account, but if you aren't playing Woodie, during the full moon, since you don't have to worry about the darkness being a threat to you, you can run around freely with your bug net and catch those fireflies. Even if you have a torch, I mean, you can collect them. You know, just turn off the torch, the fireflies will supply just enough light while you catch them, and then you turn the torch back on once they're caught. So, good stuff. Stuff like that is useful. Here's another one. I kind of go a little risky here, and I go pretty far out from our radius of fire, but it actually wasn't too bad. I think we could have gone like maybe another 3 seconds or so before Charlie became an issue. Oh, and this is interesting. When you start to go insane, you're just starting out, you'll sometimes get night hands. And what you do is you step on their fingers until they go away. They'll continue coming closer slowly, but in the morning they are destroyed, or if you step on their hands so much they go back to their spawn point, then they'll also disappear for the night, so that's good. Anyways, that's it for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.